Here are my 5 individuals. All right, I'll give this to you.
Thanks.
Do you know which is the country of eternal spring? Hi, I'm Monica Lash, and today I'm going to be telling you about that country. And that country happens to be Guatemala. I'm going to give you a brief overview of what Guatemala looks like, what type of people live in Guatemala. I'm going to tell you about a few must-see places. And lastly, I'm going to give you a few tips on what one should know before traveling to Guatemala. Guatemala is a small developing country in Central America. To give you an idea on its size, according to the 2018 Central Grams World Edition entry on Guatemala, the country is smaller than the state of Tennessee. The country is full of jungles, mountains, beaches, and volcanoes. 30 volcanoes to be exact. So there's only 2 weather seasons in Guatemala, unlike what I'm used to, which is 4. There's a rainy season and a dry season. The Guatemalans are very proud of their climate. For that reason, they have self-proclaimed Guatemala as the country of eternal spring. There is only one major city in Guatemala, and that is our capital, being Guatemala City. So geographically speaking, Guatemala is exactly where the Mayan Empire used to be. For that reason, a large portion of Guatemala's population are descendants from the Mayan civilization. There's also a good percentage of European and Spanish heritage within the population due to the fact that Guatemala and the rest of Central America used to be under Spanish rule. So the main language spoken in Guatemala is Spanish. However, due to the abundant amount of indigenous groups within the country, there are also dozens and dozens of different dialects. And oddly enough, these dialects do not sound anything like Spanish. So let's say you were to travel to Guatemala. What are some places you must see? So according to the encyclopedia, the World Mark Encyclopedia entry on Guatemala, the 2 most famous tourist attractions include Tikal and Antigua. So Tikal is an ancient Mayan city. The temples there are tall stone structures. It is easy for someone there to rethink their preconceived idea of human power, because this civilization was able to build these entire temples, such large structures without our current technology. The second location is Antigua. This small city is famous for its colonial churches, its Spanish-influenced architecture, and its cobblestone streets. It's also a hub for travelers who want to experience the Guatemalan culture and learn Spanish. So Antigua is a very vibrant city. Almost every building is a different color, matching the traditional attire of the indigenous women that you would most likely see walking the streets of Antigua. So visitors during the day can shop countless Mayan markets and taste delicious traditional Guatemalan cuisine, and at night, salsa dancing is a must. This form of dancing is a huge part of the Guatemalan culture. So with those 2 locations, I hope I've convinced you at least a little bit to go travel to this beautiful country. And if you do, here are 2 very important tips I believe everyone should know before traveling to Guatemala. So the first one is Guatemalans value politeness, and they value that in all aspects of life. For example, if you're invited to go eat dinner with a family in their home, it is an important and an expected courtesy that you eat everything on your plate. And if the host offers you more food, you essentially must say yes. It's an insult to the host if you don't. Another important gesture of respect for Guatemalans are greetings. There are 2 main forms of greetings. The simple handshake that usually occurs between two men, and the kiss the cheek, which can occur between women and their kids, family, and close friends. So unlike the United States, in Guatemala, when you enter a room, you must address and greet every individual in the room. This also applies to goodbyes. So if you're with a crowd and planning on leaving, expect your goodbyes to last a lot longer than they do in the United States. My second tip, probably my most important tip, is do not drink the tap water in Guatemala. It is a developing country, so make sure to drink bottled water, because if you don't, you'll probably get sick. So with all the information I have given you, I hope I've inspired you at least a little bit to travel to this beautiful country and ultimately immerse yourself in its rich culture. You won't regret traveling to the country of eternal spring. Thank you. And here are my 5 individuals.